All righty. All right, I'm just getting my computer all good here. All right. How is everybody doing on this pre-summer day? So in a week, summer solstice. Woohoo. So, all right. I'm going to get myself comfortable because I have a lot to share. Because there's a lot going on. All right. So for those who are watching the recording and maybe have never been to one of my classes, my name is Allie Phillips. My company is Manifested Harmony, and I work with ancient modalities to bring them into the modern day world, such as crystals and essential oils and energy healing. And I blend that with my attorney brain because can't help it. It's there and it's not going anywhere. So I'm not going to talk about anything that could remotely be construed as diagnosing, treating, curing, or preventing any disease. We are talking straight up energetics of what is happening right now in our world. So like I said, I've been an attorney. I've been an attorney for almost 30 years, and I have been not only studying the laws of the United States, I have been studying universal laws and universal energies since 2005. So I love to bring everything that I have learned together, and you're going to get a little taste of that in this class. So I want to talk about this because there are people who are here who are in this sacred shift group. And for those of you who are in the sacred shift, you're going to recognize everything that I'm talking about because this is what we talk about in the group. So in December of 2020, when we were in the middle of the thing, as I call it, I launched the Sacred Shift. It was a year of creating, and I launched it. And what I wanted to do was pull together all of the energy modalities that I'm certified in and expertly trained in. And after utilizing all of the techniques that I have learned to learn how to flow with energy and not force it, and not go into victimization like, oh my gosh, it's Mercury retrograde, to be empowered and to flow, that's when I tapped into some pretty high potent energies. And that's when the Sacred Shift was born. So I'm going to give you a little introductory version of a little of what we discuss in the Sacred Shift, what we've been discussing for the last 3.5 years. And you're going to learn some helpful techniques that you can do right now that'll help you with the energies. And if you want to join, I'm going to tell you more about it at the end, so stick around because rates are going up September 1st because my coach keeps hammering at me that I have way underpriced this group. And because I just spent several days with her in the Canary Islands last week, she's like, you've got to raise rates. She's like, you cannot give away the farm. So anyway, the group, it's all about how to shift into your highest potential. So let's go through what we're dealing with, what we are dealing with right now. Now, feel free to type in the chat any questions that you have. And I would love to know, for those of you here live, like, are you aware that we are in the middle of an energy shift? Some people call it the Great Awakening. Some people call it the Ascension. Some people call it the Golden Age. Are you aware of that? Have you heard that that is happening, even if you're not entirely sure what it means? Just kind of want to get a pulse of who is here and if you are aware of that. Because we have been in an energy shift since 2011. And what is an energy shift? It is literally where there has been enough people on this planet that have shifted the way they think, they have shifted their energy, and it creates a collective shift. But it's also things that are happening around us that are causing the shift. So it's both ways. People are causing it and energies are causing it. So we have been shifting since 2011, easily since 2011, which is interesting because that's the year I started my business while I was still a full-time attorney in Washington, D.C., which at the time I'm like, why am I doing that? Now I know why. Everything happens for a reason if you allow it to flow and not stop yourself. And human beings are hardwired to slam on the brakes. We are in an energy, don't slam on the brakes. So in this energy shift, great awakening, whatever you want to call it, people just start questioning everything. Okay, people are waking up. They're seeing things differently. There is, I don't know any other way to call it than a war on truth. We don't really know what's true anymore. Like two people can watch the same thing play out and have two totally different versions. We are seeing instant karma. Before the energy shift, karma really never circled in the same lifetime. We're seeing it like that. It's happening so fast. We're just seeing a lot of, depending on how you want to label it, interesting, bizarre, tragic, strange events happen in our world, like the thing that came into our world in 2020. And so with the energy shift, you'll find yourself questioning things like, why is this, whatever it is, why is it happening now? Why is it happening now? Like the pandemic, why did it happen in 2020? All the protests that started happening, why did that start happening? All the division, especially here in the United States, but it is happening in other countries. Why are we so divided as a human race? Why are we seeing the karmic fall of movie stars and leaders and politicians? You know, why are things happening now? Why not 20 years ago? Why now? So great question in the chat. How do we know the energy shift started in 2011? That is when it really shifted into gear, was at the November 11th, 2011 portal. We have portals where energies open and they come in. And so the 11-11-11 portal was the big one. Now, the energy shift easily started years, if not decades before that. But as of 2011, full on in it. Full in it. So that's the collective agreement amongst those of us who do energy work, is that's what we feel, that's what we've noticed. So going back decades, if not centuries, many predicted that this energy shift, that this awakening would happen in 2020, would really shift into gear. And that's when it did, because people were literally locked down, were told to stay in their home and stop being so busy. And so what did people do? They got on the internet. They just start reading and researching, and all of a sudden, people's minds expanded. I can tell you in the energy world, major explosion of people interested in energy and crystals and essential oils and energy healing and astrology and you name it. So what we believe is that this energy shift is going to increase in strength and continue until about 2032. So we have a good 9 years left of this. okay, if not longer, a good 9 years. And most people, especially here in the US, which I heard a lot about when I was in Portugal and the Canary Islands the other week, I heard a lot about Americans and how busy we are and how we wear the busyness as a badge of honor. And I totally agree with that, because most people got into a lifestyle of being so busy to the point of burnout and illness. And we were given an opportunity to not continue that. I mean, do we want to continue that? No, we probably don't. And most people were working in jobs and careers that they detested, and they started walking away. Remember the Great Resignation that happened? Was it in 2021 or 2022? It's all a blur. I can't even remember. But the Great Resignation, people walking away. And so, there's a lot of things that come together that create this kind of upheaval and change. Well, we are actually being bombarded with numerous energies to upgrade us as a human species. Now, energies coming in from all different avenues. Okay, we are not a coat of armor. We are not Teflon and immune from everything that's in the world, because everything is energy. Everything is made of energy, even energy that you can't see. And so we're being bombarded with a lot of energies to upgrade us. It's like working out. The more you do it, the better you feel. Initially, it hurts and you don't want to do it. But the more you do it and the more you understand it, the better you're going to feel. And that's the same thing with understanding energies. The more you understand them, the more you work with them and let them work with you, the better you're going to feel. So we are also clearing out millions of years of disharmonic energies that have been on this planet. I mean, Earth is 4.6 billion years old. And while many people believe that humans have only been here for 6,000 to 10,000 years, it's a lot longer than that. A lot longer. Hundreds of thousands of years. But we are clearing out a lot of these disharmony energies that have been on this planet. Some people call it dark energy, some people call it negative energy, some people call it toxic energy, but it's being given permission to surface. And much of it is ancestral rage for the oppression and the control of certain groups of people, including women. So there is a lot of feminine ancestral rage happening right now. And that's why when I was advertising this class, one of the questions I asked was, have you been feeling angry? And you're generally not an angry person. You're like, this isn't me. Yeah, it's probably not even your anger. It's moving through you. It's moving through you. And so people who fight against this and try to get back to normal pre-2020, they're going to feel out of place. They're going to feel out of place. These energies don't feel very comfortable. People who are fighting against this get sucked into negative events. They get sucked into negative news. They get sucked into all the junk that's on social media, that if you just did a little bit of research and use some objectivity, you'd realize it's not true. And so when you don't understand the energies, you're going to experience this disharmony, this discord, and find yourself complaining more, striking out against it, and then bringing more of that in, because everything that we think about, speak about, and act on, that's the world that we create. And so people who are speaking in victimization, and oh my gosh, I see this all the time. I'm actually seeing companies who are building their foundation on victimization rather than empowerment. And it's like, well, that's going to swing around. It's going to smack you upside the head in a couple of years. Because when you drop into victimization and negative energy, you're going to draw more of that in. Because we are like a lighthouse. What is the light that you're shining out? Is it victimization or is it empowerment? So those who understand about these energies and learn how to flow and shift with them are empowered. They are empowered. And they can really work with the energies because we are receiving DNA upgrades. As Earth evolves, we must evolve with it. Any living being on this planet is going to evolve with her. You know, we are riding on her back. And these upgrades come during very specific celestial and planetary events. And believe me, I can go down a rabbit hole on this. So I'm going to try to keep it brief, but these upgrades come in through light codes. These are literally energies that come in. And you may have no idea that it's happening. You may not feel it. You may have a day where you're super energized or a day that you're fatigued and you're like, I had a good night's sleep. Well, I can barely get out of bed. Or a day that you're really achy or nauseous or you have vertigo or you're angry and you're like, what is going on with me? You're not going crazy. These are the upgrades happening. So upgrades sometimes don't feel very good, okay? But the upgrades are coming in very strong. They've been coming in strong for many years, really strong since the beginning of 2020, and now they are super strong. We had a huge one this past Sunday that literally knocked me on my backside. Literally. It was the most bizarre thing I had ever experienced. But it was an absolute dimension shift. And I was feeling nauseous beforehand. It's like, and I'm used to this. So I kept thinking, my gosh, people who are not used to these energies, what is happening to them? So that's why I like talking about this. And that's why I'm so glad I have the Sacred Shift group, because everybody in there, we support each other during all of this. Because when you can raise your vibration and you understand these energies and you accept these energies, because it's not like you can say, thanks, but no thanks. No, you're living on planet Earth. So welcome to the upgrade. And when you know how to work with it, you will see the chaos in the world, because it looks like kind of hell on earth right now. I mean, there's a lot of bad stuff happening. You're going to see it, but you're not going to get sucked into it. You're going to see the struggles and the chaos, but you will not live it. And you will be able to help others and help with the energy shift simply by your energy, your lifestyle, and helping to elevate the energies. And simultaneously, when you ground to the earth, you're going to ride all of this roller coaster energy with ease. Okay? So what are these energies that are influencing us? So everything is made of energy, absolutely everything. And we are highly influenced by energies as humans. So are the animals on this planet. Animals are much more in tune to the energies. And if you just watch animals, you will know what's coming. When there is a dog that all of a sudden starts having a panic attack, and gee, an hour later, a thunderstorm comes through or an earthquake, they can feel it. They know, they can feel the energies. But the energies can also impact us from unusual locations. So, feel free to type in the chat about whether you have trouble sleeping during a full moon. Does anybody have trouble sleeping? I do, because it's the energies. They're really strong during a full moon. And we know that the moon influences the earth because of the tides. The moon and earth absolutely pair up together. So absolutely can, stop you from having a good night's sleep. Have any of you had a day recently where you were not yourself? You were angry, you were sad, you were agitated, you were really off, and you had no explanation why, but you had a hard time shaking it. I mean, do you feel like you have changed since the pandemic? Like things that you loved in the past no longer interest you. Things that you were really super motivated about 3, 4, 5 years ago, you're not motivated. You have new interests, you have new motivations. That's all part of this energy shift. It's literally shifting us. So we're very influenced by our planet that is in a universe, and the universe is in many, many multiverses. There are over 100 billion galaxies, and our Milky Way galaxy is part of 50 galaxies with 2,500 neighboring galaxies nearby. And nearby, I'm talking hundreds of millions of light years away. And so we are this little blip that is being bombarded by so much energy, yet we can't see it. We can't see it. We don't know when it's coming in. And some feel it strongly, others feel nothing. People who are busy and who are numbing themselves with alcohol, with drugs, with medication, with addictions to social media, addictions to television, binge watching on Netflix. They're really not going to feel it. It's the numbing behavior that actually is a symptom of the energy shift. That's how people are coping. They're numbing themselves instinctively. So while some feel it strongly and others don't feel it, we're all impacted, and you will start to notice it in how people respond, because everything is energy and frequency, and people respond to that. So what are the things that are influencing us? I'm going to go through these right now. So let me start with the Schumann resonance. All right, so I pulled the graph. A Schumann resonance is the Earth's frequency. The Earth has her own heartbeat. And historically, it has had a base frequency of 7.83 hertz, which is interestingly the base frequency of a healthy human body. It's why when we are connected to nature and put our feet on the ground, that we feel awesome. If you go to the woods, if you go in nature, if you go to the beach, you feel awesome, right? Because we've connected to the Earth and her heartbeat. So this is what has happened since January 1st. And I looked at this and I'm like, where's the Dramamine? I mean, it's like, oh my gosh, the roller coaster. I usually look 1 month at a time. This is the first month first time I've looked at almost 6 months. Oh my gosh. All those spikes and crashes, that's roller coaster. That's roller coaster energy. So the energies the Schumann resonance has been dramatically spiking since January 2017, dramatically. And for those of you who have taken my advanced crystal class, I talk about this where at the beginning of the pandemic, I did some testing because I always knew that the Schumann resonance impacts humans and animals. And I did a test and was really researching to see if we can influence the Schumann resonance, and we can. If there is enough heightened energy on the planet, we can spike the Schumann resonance. So, I mean, just look at the past 6 months. It's a roller coaster. It's a roller coaster. And the past month, holy moly, major spike. 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th of May, and then it crashed. So most people can't handle this, and it's frying their nervous system and it's frying their emotional system. I can look at the Schumann resonance, and it's always after the fact, but I can look at the graphs and I can map it to mass violence and mass protests. It's like a spike spikes something in people. And a lot of times it's spiking anger in people. So this is an influence on us. Now, everybody responds to Schumann resonance differently. Some people, when it spikes, they're very energized and creative, and they're like, yeah, this is awesome. I have these great ideas. And other people, it puts them in bed for the day. They can't handle it. It wipes them out. Other people get angry. So in the sacred shift, we learn how to track to see how we react, because we all react differently. Same thing with the crashes. Some people, when it crashes, they're in bed, they're depressed, they're sad. Other people are angry. Other people are unmotivated. Some people are motivated. Everybody responds differently. So this is something that absolutely influences us. Solar flares influence us. So the earth would not have living beings without the sun. So we must have the sun for us to be alive. Now, the sun goes through her own evolution. Earth is going through her evolution. The sun goes through its evolution. Every 11 years, there is a new solar cycle. And there are solar minimums and solar maximums. So we started this solar cycle in 2019. I'm kind of doing this off the top of my head. And so that's a solar minimum. That means the sun is very quiet. Not a lot of solar flares. In 2025, it's going to be solar maximum. So we are inching towards solar maximum. So what is interesting is the past 2 years, when we were in a solar minimum, we were getting blasted with solar flares and coronal mass ejections, which are the big ones, And when I look at solar flares, they coincide with protests, with mass violence, because it rises up anger and rage in a lot of people because it is hot. It is hot energy that's being blasted. Now, it can take a couple of days for a solar flare or a coronal mass ejection to reach us. And whichever part of Earth is facing the sun when the blast happens, they're going to get the brunt of it. So we're going to hit solar maximum in 2025, but I want to show you this graph that I just pulled today. We're kind of in the middle between solar minimum and solar maximum. We're in the middle right now. We should not be having this. So an X-class flare, the top 7 are X-class. That's a coronal mass ejection. Those are huge. Kind of unusual for right now. The M class is the next most serious. We're getting a lot. We're getting a lot. We have been blasted, especially the first 3 months of this year, of 2023. And when you look at the amount of mass violence that happened earlier in the year, which still it's happening every day, but really happened earlier in the year, is there a relation to that? I think so. I think so. Because we're primarily made of water. And when we are blasted with energy, the water vibrates. Some people, that vibration doesn't feel good. All right, so that's happening. And then, I don't know if you love astrology or if you study astrology, but other planets influence our energies because everything has an energy to it. And we are energy beings. We are highly, highly influenced. Humans fluctuate up and down all day long. And so I look at retrogrades when it appears that a planet is going backwards in the solar system. It's really not moving backwards. It's just the relation of the planet to Earth. It looks backward. But there are things, lessons for us to learn during a retrograde. Most planets tend to go retrograde once a year at the most. We're lucky and we get Mercury retrograde 3, sometimes 4 times a year. And that's the one that most people have heard about because it messes with communication, technology, travel. So it's the one that most people are aware of. But the intensity of the retrogrades over the past 2 years have been unlike anything I have seen. None of this makes me nervous. It is fascinating. Like I feel like I'm like pressing my face up to the snow globe of life. And it's like, oh my gosh, look at that. Look at that. Now I know how to handle it. Now I know what to do because of what's happening. You become an elevated observer. So I don't want, if any of you are panicking right now, there's nothing to panic about. Okay. You can either be a victim or you can be empowered. I want you to be empowered. All right. So when you understand retrograde energy, you can understand the influences on us. So for 2023, we had it really easy the first half of the year. And now it's getting intense and it's going to get intense for the rest of the year. So that's why I'm doing this class right now. So I want to go back a little bit in time because there were some big things that happened. The biggest planetary event of 2023 happened on March 23rd when Pluto, it's still a planet. I don't care what anybody says. They can call it a dwarf planet. It is a planet. It is a big enough thing out there that influences us. Well, it moved out of Capricorn, where it had been for 19 years, and it moved into Aquarius, where it's going to stay until like 2042. Like it is a very slow moving planet. And it's called the biggest event of the year. And we are literally at the beginning of it, knowing that it's going to go on for another 19 years. It's big because it is the energy of the phoenix. You know what the phoenix is? Bursts into flames, dies away, and then rebirths. We are in, this is putting us in the cycle of death and rebirth. We are going to see not the physical necessarily, but the symbolic death of a lot of things. And then a rebirth of something new. So for example, this year, all of a sudden, artificial intelligence is everywhere. It's been around for 5 years and nobody was talking about it. Now it is everywhere. I literally cannot open up an email without it being about artificial intelligence. It's all over Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and you name it. Everybody's talking about it. That is a Pluto energy. Absolutely a Pluto energy. Transformative technology. Transforming communities. That's what Pluto does. Pluto is about detoxing humanity. So we're going to see a lot of changes in how we view people, how we view institutions, how we view structures. I mean, it could be politics, it could be religion, it could be the banking industry, it could be the auto industry. How we view things, totally going to get detoxed. The last time Pluto was in Aquarius, we were signing the Bill of Rights here in the United States. It was also a time of the French Revolution, the American Revolution, the Haitian Revolution, the Industrial Revolution. And during this time, because it's in the water sign of Aquarius, it is literally the dawning of the new age of Aquarius. So every 2,150 years, the planet moves into a new astrological sign. Some people thought we moved into Age of Aquarius in 2011. I can say that we absolutely firmly rooted in it in June of 2021 when we had a major total solar eclipse. Well, now we are really in it. So I want you to think of that song from the Fifth Dimension, Dawning of the Age of Aquarius. And don't you find it interesting that the name of that musical group is called the Fifth Dimension? I think they made that song back in the late 70s. They knew. So yeah, so it's a dawning of a new age. And here's the thing that all of you, I think, are going to love. Woo-woo becomes mainstream. Absolutely becomes mainstream. So for anybody who has a healing business, brace yourself. You're going mainstream. It's not going to be woo-woo anymore. If you've been worried about that, no need to worry. Pluto in Aquarius is making all of this legit. Okay. And I think you all know it's legit. Everybody else is going to understand it. Okay, we've also had our first Mercury retrograde for the year. It was in Taurus, and we still feel the energy until the next one. Okay. When is the next one? Oh, not until August. So those 3 weeks were asking us to reassess our security, whether it is financial security, lifestyle security, location security, relationship security. That's getting tested, and you're getting a do-over in those areas. Okay, that's what retrograde means. You're getting a do-over. You get a chance to reevaluate, reassess, redo, review, all the re's. Okay, I love retrograde energy. I love it. It gives you another go around. All right. We are in, okay, so Pluto moved into Aquarius and now it is retrograde. In Aquarius. It's like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So during this time, we are being taught a lesson to drum. There's Dobby's tail. Dobby, yeah, I need you to lay down so your tail doesn't swing in the screen. We are being asked to drop the power struggles. Okay. To release old chapters in your life that no longer serve you, to release old beliefs that no longer serve you. We are in a major change your mind energy. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to look at something or someone and say, Dobby, I need you to lay down. It's okay to look at someone or something and say, I believed you before, I don't anymore. Or this business, I was all on board with you before, I'm not anymore. We are being given the great change your mind. The great change your mind. What else are we getting? Major transformation. A lot of this is going to be based on relationships, and it could be a business relationship, it could be a friendship, it could be romantic, it could be family, it could be your relationship to an institution and religion, politics, whatever. But you're also being moved to pursue a hidden dream that relates to your life purpose that is there, it's there, and you've done squat to move it forward. Pluto retrograding in Aquarius is going to push you. It's going to push you and say, stop dragging your feet. It's time to go. It's time to go and do it. So we are, what is today? What is the day? Is it the 14th? Okay, in 3 days, Saturn is going to retrograde in Pisces. Saturn is about the planet of rules, karma, and discipline. I love Saturn so much. I'm in a Saturn return right now, and I'm going to be there for 2 years. Saturn will work you to the bone, but man, the payoffs are huge for then the next like 18 years. So yeah, Saturn's kicking my butt in a good way. It's like, thank you. May I have another? Well, so we're getting this Saturn retrograde in Pisces. Rules, karma, and discipline. So what tough lessons do you need right now? Like, you know, you need this tough lesson. You may also feel like you are in the flow of the energies, but it feels out of control. And Saturn says, I got it. Okay, just relax. Relax. Okay. I mean, the energies are going to be quite intense with this through November 4th. Okay. So just go with it. When a challenge happens, just look at it and say, thank you, Saturn retrograde. I got the lesson. Bring on the next. That's empowerment. That's empowerment, because you will elevate and upgrade tremendously through it. At the end of the month, we go into Neptune retrograde in Pisces. Now, Neptune is a dreamy planet that's about intuition and spirituality, and it has an energy of escapism to it. So when it goes retrograde, we can feel pulled between inspiration and feeling disappointed at the same time. It's like, you just got to keep yourself grounded. And where you are engaging in harmful habits and avoiding changing them, Neptune is going to gently nudge you along. So if you know you need to eat better, Neptune's going to nudge you in the right direction. If you know you need to stop procrastinating, Neptune is going to nudge you. But it's also a time when people are going to dive into spirituality. It's that escapism. So when Neptune goes retrograde, it's like, bring on the numbing behavior, but a lot of people dive into spirituality. Okay. So if you find yourself doing that, you're just flowing with the Neptunian energy. So next month, from July 23rd to September 4th, Venus is going to go retrograde in Leo. Now, Venus goes retrograde about every 18 months. And, you know, Venus deals with love and money. Love and money. Oh my gosh. Talk about two controversial topics. Now, she's going retrograde in fiery Leo. So it could bubble up some relationship issues, some fears about love, fears about money. You know, what boundaries are you lacking when it comes to love and money? And she's giving you an opportunity to rewrite your relationship to love and money. Let it happen. This is where you're going to change your mind about things. All right, then July 23rd to December 23rd, Chiron goes retrograde in Aries. Now, you're probably not familiar with Chiron. So Chiron is very influential in our universe. And it is the planet that is all about our wounds, our inner wounds. So when it goes retrograde, it is all about healing wounds, which means they're going to bubble up. Let them bubble up. Just don't let it bubble up on anybody else, okay? So you may find yourself a little more emotional, a little more sensitive, and that's when you lock yourself in your house, okay? Do not go out in public when you're a hot mess. Don't get on social media and tell everybody about the hangnail that you have. This is when you let it bubble up, because then it's healing. Okay, so that's coming. Yay. Then we get our second Mercury retrograde. It's going to be in Virgo at the end of August. And again, it's where we're being and given an opportunity to really get very clear and make sure that we're dotting the I's and crossing the T's, and just be very precise. Be very precise. At the end of August through January of next year, Uranus goes retrograde in Taurus. Now, Uranus is the planet of chaos and sudden changes. So you will find social norms being challenged, and you're going to push past the limiting social norms, the norms that you have created in your life that have limited and created a very small world for yourself. It's going to bring an energy of pushing forward your momentum, because all of this other retrograde energy, they're all working together. You have a retrograde pot of soup on the stove that's simmering and boiling. It's all mixing together. They're all working together. So by the time we get to this, you got some momentum going, and Uranus is going to say, go, go. You need to release that wounding, go. You need to straighten up love, money, finances. Now, do it. You need to launch your business or relaunch it now. Okay, it's going to push you forward. And then from September until December, Jupiter goes retrograde in Taurus. And Jupiter is all about good luck and expansion and good fortune. When it goes retrograde, it wants you to look at where you are overdoing, maybe where you're a little obsessive compulsive, and where you can be more mindful. It's going to ask you to look at what is blocking you from expanding. And it may mean you got to let something go to bring something in. So this is just a snippet of the retrograde energies, okay? So you can tap into it. So when you are feeling these energies, just know what's happening. It's all for your good. It's not the end of the world. It's not all these cataclysmic events that people like to talk about. Not at all. It's to grow. I mean, the cataclysmic event is letting go of your old third dimensional self. Okay, so we're evolving. All right, then we were influenced by, the sun and the moon. So we have eclipse seasons every year. So we just came out of our first eclipse season, and the energy lasts until the next eclipse. So we are in what happened in April and May. So the April new moon solar eclipse in Aries pushed us to release what no longer serves us. So it bubbled up a lot of old wounds for people, but it's doing that to bring new beginnings and to bring long-term change, to be authentic. Okay. Oh, Rudy just dive bombed me. So this authenticity, it's pushing us, and this I'm going to be honest, this drives me bananas on social media, the copy and paste. That is not authentic. When somebody gives you something to copy and paste, don't do it. Don't do it. That is so inauthentic. The eclipse is basically telling us, stop it. Be you. If you can't be you, then just don't post. Don't do that. Okay. The May full moon lunar eclipse was all about major changes and understanding that control is an illusion. So I am a control management specialist. Control's an illusion. So during this time, since that lunar eclipse, it's bubbling up scandals. Scandals. All sorts of scandals. I mean, you just turn on the news. It's one scandal after another. That's what this energy is doing. I love looking at that sort of stuff through an energetic lens, rather than getting emotionally and subjectively invested in it. It's like the energies are telling us, stop. First of all, it's not your scandal. Why are you getting all emotional about it? Look at it objectively and look at it, and you can say, that's not right. That's wrong. I don't agree with that. This is where karma is coming in. Karma is very fast now. So a lot of scandals. but we were pushed to remove what no longer serves us. So if things fall away, let them. If you release things, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad, okay? So it's an energy of closing a curtain on anything that's really been brewing for 18 months that you just don't align with anymore. It's okay to let it go. Could be relationships, it could be a mindset, a belief, alignment to something, a business. I mean, it could be anything, okay? So what that full moon lunar eclipse did was to help us start releasing a lot of the pandemic energies, because they're pretty bad right now. They're still lingering. It's pretty bad. So we're in the process of releasing. But come October 14th, we're going to have a new moon solar eclipse in Libra, and it's very self-empowering. And it's going to teach us to use chaos as a personal catalyst for transformation. So when you see chaos in the world, you are going to excel and you're going to rise above it. Okay, so you're going to use it to fuel you. But it is, again, you know, eclipses ask us to release what no longer serves us. So this is going to be more relationship based, but again, a relationship can be with a business, with a institution, with an identity, with an idea, or it can be with a person. And then on October 28th, we're going to have a full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus, and it's going to help you build a more solid foundation for your life because of all this transformational energy. Because you may feel a little unstable, you're more secure than you think. Okay, so you're going to build a more solid foundation because you will have let things go that literally are dragging you down. Okay, and that one's going to deal with money, getting control with your financial security. All right, so I'm going to get to crystals, I'm going to get to essential oils, but let's talk about how do you handle these energies? Well, first of all, you got to drink a lot of water to keep the energy moving in your body. We are 70% water being. We have to have water. You got to drink water. I'm going to drink some. Okay, water is not included in coffee. Okay, I'm just saying that. You got to keep your energy moving. You need to give yourself quiet time every day, whether it's meditation or prayer or inner reflection, and settle into a routine that helps you focus and listen to your inner voice, because you're going to get guidance. Your inner voice is never, ever, ever wrong. If it's the ego, it's primarily wrong. But when you have truly tapped in at a soul level and aligned with your higher self, never wrong. It may sound crazy, but it's never wrong. Okay? You need the time during these energies to do that. You need to work on your emotional wounds. Learn about Chiron. Where is it in your astrological chart? You can go online, free astrological birth chart. Find out where Chiron is and what it means. Because what is being brought out in this time as part of our upgrade as a human is our shadow side, our negative side, so that we can heal old wounds once and for all, and we can understand what are our weaknesses and what is our sabotage response. We all have sabotage. When you know what it is, you can catch it just like that. You can catch it. So some of the emotional wounds that we feel bubbling up may be ours, and it may be ancestral. I mean, like I said, there's millions of years of ancestral disharmony bubbling up. So lucky us, we get to process it. And you know, I see a lot of this a couple of years ago coming through when people were shaming each other on social media about things, showing their wounds. Now we're really seeing it in divisiveness. And what I've always said is, whatever triggers you, is what needs to be healed. There is nothing that anybody can say that is a true trigger for you. What it is internally you're responding that needs to be healed. So when you get triggered, look at it as, thank you. Now I know what needs to be worked on and healed. Okay. Don't be pointing fingers. That's victimization. Be empowered. And when you're triggered, say, whoa, I had no idea. That is awesome. Thank you. I'm going to work on that. Recognize it and heal it. You need to really believe in your intuition. And for your intuition to be fully firing and working for you, you need that quiet time. But you also need to detox your entire energy field. We have a physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual energy field around us. And you have to detox the entire energy field in order to see clearly. So physically, if you're still eating crap, junk food, your intuition is going to stay quiet. If emotionally you are not working on balancing your emotions and flowing with these energies, your intuition is going to struggle. If you are not working on mindset and your beliefs and being willing to change, intuition is going to stay quiet. Okay. So you have to cleanse and detox body, mind, and spirit. Work with your oils, work with your crystals. I'm going to give you some great ones to work with. And trust that the whispers, the messages, the signs, the signals, the synchronicities, all these ideas that are coming to you are for a reason, because they're coming to you. Not to me. I got my own coming to me. They're coming to you for a reason. You have to listen and you have to act. You have to act. That's the thing about intuition. You just don't take it in and go, oh, isn't that sweet? No, you have to do something about it. The other thing for handling the energies is learning how to discern truth. So this is where you need to understand how your body responds when it hears something truthful and it hears something that is not true. Everyone is different. So for me, when I say or hear something that's true, even if it sounds bizarre, the hair on my arm stands straight up. That's how I know. It's literally my body telling me this is right. So it's learning to be discerning of what you are consuming, the information that's coming in, whether it's through media, television, social media, the friends that you're hanging out with. If you feel uneasy, that is your body telling you this is not true. This is not true. Okay. So you need to really trust that. We're all on social media, and if you are seeing posts that make you uneasy, I'm a big fan of the unfollow button. And I'm an even bigger fan of unfriend. Take yourself off of pages. Take yourself out of groups. You need to protect your energy. Okay. So when you get wrapped up in things, it's going to impact your energy and it's going to slow you down. And the energy upgrade is not going to be comfortable. It is not going to be comfortable. So yeah, you're doing that a lot lately too. Yeah, exactly. Trust yourself. Okay. Trust yourself. We also need to work on shining our light. I talk about how I see us as lighthouses. And we've got a light that goes out. When you are shining your light and you are in positivity and empowerment, that is going to influence everybody around you. It's going to help. Okay. So how you live your life and how you show it to others is going to help others who are struggling. Okay. So just shine your light. Don't cover it up. Don't cover it up at all. Be authentic. Again, shine your light. Share whatever part of your life you want to. You don't, I'm not a total open book, except with a few people. But otherwise, most of me, I have no problem putting it out there. I mean, I have no problem putting Rudy out there. So just share your life that can help other people. Share your empowerment, not your victimization, your empowerment. Even if something bad happens, talk about, and this is how I handled it. And this is how I overcame it. That's what I'm seeing missing in a lot of posts. And all those people I have unfollowed and unfriended. It's like, I don't need to see your victimization, because you're literally doing nothing to help yourself, and you're dragging down the collective energy. I'm not going to have you drag down my energy. Be very protective of your energy so that you can shine empowerment and help other people, because you will help change the energy and inspire others. Start engaging in earthing and being in nature. You know, earthing is where you put your bare feet on the ground. Okay, this time of year, it's better than in the winter. You know, here in Michigan, can't do it 6 months out of the year. So right now, I'm doing huge earthing. But be in nature, stay grounded, you know, clear the energy in your home, whether it's with sound frequency like solfeggio frequency music, crystals, essential oils. Take your smudge stick, you know, your crystal singing bowls, anything that you need to do to clear the energy in your home, do that so that it's your sanctuary. So, you know, I always say, speak and pray to the solution, not the problem. If you are stuck, if things have been going wrong, you're probably stuck in an old energy. So you got to work to raise yourself up. You know, manifesting is so strong right now. Karma is almost instant. And if you're focused on the problems of the world, you're going to give them energy, and you're going to draw that problem energy to you. If you're stuck in a victimization energy, that is what you will draw in and experience. If you focus on the good that is happening, it'll raise your vibration, and that is speaking to the solution, not the problem. Because we can't solve a problem with the same old dark energy that created it. Shining a light is how you overcome darkness. You walk into a dark room, what do? Flip on the light. You don't banish the dark, you flip on the light. And that's what we need to do. So let's talk about energy shift essential oils. And believe me, I could give you 100 energy shift essential oils. I tried to limit it to just 2 for each of the things that I just talked about. Okay. So, I mean, you can find thousands of crystals and hundreds of essential oils that help with this awakening. And my philosophy is to work with what you have and the ones that you are drawn to. Be very aware of what you're drawn to and just do that. You don't have to do what I say, just do what you're drawn to. And you know, for those who have taken full day crystal classes from me and are in my crystal cluster group, you know that you have access to my private crystal store. I even open it once a month to the public. So when I talk about crystals, if you need help, just reach out. So I'm talking about Young Living oils, which I believe all of you are using because of the pure vibrational frequency of the oils that other brands don't have. Okay. So if you're watching the recording, and you don't have Young Living oils, get with whoever invited you to this so that they can help you get the oils. Or if I invited you, get with me. We'll get you started. Okay. But my recommendation is about elevating the crystals and the oils that you are working with. Elevate them to a higher level. So when you need to change your vibration, neroli. Okay, this is an ancient oil of transformation. It clears out old emotions. As I go through these descriptions, I want you to think about all the retrograde energy and the eclipse energy and the Schumann resonance energy that I just talked about, and see how it relates. So neroli, transformation, clearing out old emotions, helps you let go of the past and not worry about the future. It's going to assist you in manifesting and self-actualizing to your highest potential. Okay. It's really good if you're emotionally intense and highly sensitive, or if you become exhausted by people who are very intense. Neroli is your oil. I also love the transformation blend. It is probably by far my favorite oil. My favorite oil. And it is for those moments when you hear that little voice telling you that you're crazy, that your intuition is crazy, and that you're not worthy of shifting. And it tries to keep you small and where you're at. That's really the ego talking. It's trying to keep you safe. What this oil does is it cleans out the emotions and the beliefs and the blocks that are in your way, because we're given opportunities every single day to shift and to transform. And so it's going to help you move from an I can't mindset to an of course I can. Of course I can. The energies are so amazing right now. You can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. Okay. Now, if you need that quiet time to listen to your inner self, but you're so busy, okay, you need to get with Sacred Frank. Okay, it's a higher frequency than what I call regular Frank, because it has a higher alpha pinene in it. But this is an oil that is going to help you connect at a soul level and a spirit level. And for thousands of years, it's been used this way. And it moves the chi energy in your energy field. It's going to help you deepen the breath so that you can exhale stagnant energy while simultaneously calming your energy, your nervous system, and your mind. It's going to help you move out of an ego-driven lifestyle to get into a very soul-driven lifestyle. I also like the Awaken blend because it'll open you to your potential. It's going to help you with meditation and visualization and manifesting so that you can make the changes to manifest what you want. It stimulates the right brain of creativity and intuition to really expand your consciousness. Okay. I mean, it consists of 5 different blends. It has joy, present time, forgiveness, dream catcher, and harmony in it. That is a powerful blend. All right, if you need to work on healing emotional wounds, rose, of course, cha-ching, but rose is a very deep heart healer, all about forgiveness and unity, releasing fears, and helps you become whole. But if that's a little out of your price range, an alternative is Palmarosa. This is an unsung hero. I was literally Marco Poloing one of my friends today. It's an app where we video each other. And I'm like, Palmarosa is an unsung hero. Why aren't people talking about this oil? What it does is it helps connect your heart chakra to the earth. Because when you are connected to the earth has your back. This oil is all about nurturing mother energy. It helps with fear and worry, and it will stop your heart from shutting down when there is chaos. This is a beautiful oil. Or you can use the release oil. I mean, when you use the release oil, name what you need to release, smell the oil, release it. It's that simple. It's a great oil dealing with this, the anger, the rage, the sacred rage that is coming up. If it's not yours, just release it. If it is yours, release it. Okay? Great oil. If you need help with discernment of truth and increasing your intuition, Roman chamomile brings an inner calmness and a stillness so that you can hear your intuition, so that you can hear the guidance. I mean, it provides a beautiful angelic connection. The blend Gary's Light was created specifically to help us with discernment so that we know what is true and right for ourselves. It brings us into spiritual connection. It opens our minds, and it's very protective too. I mean, it's a beautiful oil. All right, if you need bravery to shine your light, the Rise Above blend, that is probably my second favorite oil. I love it. I love it because it'll help you rise above the chaos to give you an elevated point of view. I always feel like it's taken me up in an airplane and I got a window seat and I'm looking out and I'm like, oh, look at that. Look at the violence, look at the chaos, look at the protests, look at the infighting, look at the division. Wow. All right. I can do something about it by not mixing up in that. and helping people shift their energy. Because when you work with Rise Above, you get an elevated viewpoint and you get elevated ideas, elevated thoughts. You look at things differently. You get a different viewpoint. And you also look at your future in a higher vibration. All right. Now, how many of you are running out? I'm going to buy Rise Above. It is my second favorite oil. And valor. I mean, valor gives you the courage to show up and shine and not hide who you are. It lets you go for your goals and to help others and to have strong energy through all of these shifts that are happening, and to have the courage and confidence to realize this is all happening for me, not to me. It's for me. It's to help me as a human being. I agreed as a soul to come in at this time to encounter all of this. But I need a lot of valor to get through it. So valor is a good one. For tapping into your authentic higher self, like really being soul aligned, Cassia helps to connect to who you really are at a soul level. A lot of people are very soul disconnected, and they're miserable. I mean, I can see it in how they talk about their work and their family and their relationships and everything about their life. It's like, wow, you were just so disconnected. When you are connected at a soul level, all those complaints really go away because you're doing what you're supposed to do. And Cassia helps with that. It helps you understand that you're free to live your soul path and to help others with their soul path. And highest potential is also great because it helps you connect to your highest self, and it builds the confidence and releases the limiting beliefs and shifts you from focusing on flaws to instead focusing on your potential. So it's very uplifting and it's very inspiring. It gathers your most powerful energy to you and opens you to all that is. And then lastly, staying grounded. Black spruce, deeply grounding, yet will raise your energy at the same time. It's very protective, helps you release blocks. And sacred mountain blend helps you to get grounded, to re-energize, and it helps when you feel overwhelmed. It's very protective with all the chaos that's around, because when you're grounded, you feel stronger, more confident, more centered. And that blend is like hiking through the mountains and feeling all the amazing, powerful energy. You will walk out stronger and taller. All right, let's talk crystals. Same energies. Okay, what do you need to clear and change your vibration? Well, clear quartz, preferably some of the higher frequencies, like the Himalayans, the Lemurians, the Tibetans, because clear quartz gets chi energy moving in your energy field, and it clears blocks to raise your vibe. Now, Tibetan quartz helps you stay aligned with your soul connection, frees you from old beliefs, and it helps with deep soul change. The Himalayans, on the other hand, attune you to very high vibrations and guide you through confusion and connect you to the energy of oneness so that you don't feel like you're going crazy and you're so alone. And it just has this energy that you're in the right place at the right time. Whereas the Lemurians, they pick the person. It's a very feminine empowerment energy that's protective. And the more you work with it, the more powerful it becomes because it'll guide you. But I also like euphorolite, and y'all know that I just got euphorolite. I'm one of just a couple of sellers that has been selected by a mine to sell euphorolite. So many of you have euphorolite literally in the mail to you right now that's coming, but it is a very grounding and ascending high vibration crystal. And it's because it's packed with negative ions that creates a euphoric feeling. It creates a euphoric feeling. That's why it's called euphorolite. It's amazing. When you need the quiet time to listen to your inner self, amethyst is a good choice because it's a high vibration crystal, yet it's grounding due to the iron content. It's going to guard against any sort of energy attacks that are coming at you so that you can really connect to your higher self and tap into your higher consciousness. It's going to help calm your mind to help you focus and tap into your intuition and make decisions and meditate. I also like celestite. It's very calming. It's going to open your intuition. It's going to help you communicate better with your inner self, your higher self. And it's going to slow the mind chatter and sharpen your awareness. For healing emotional wounds and doing the shadow work, prehnite is very nurturing for heart healing. It's just full of unconditional love toward self as well as others. You're just going to be filled with that energy. And it helps to release the energy of inner lack. A lot of people who are in the victimization energy, they have that inner lack. And this is going to help with that. It's going to release it. Rose quartz is also a good one because it's all about self-love, unconditional love, releasing heartache and grief, and really then attracting in the right people who also have a healed heart chakra. If you're working on intuition and discernment, I like apophyllite. It's known as the stone of truth. It's all about emotional cleansing, intuition, showing truth, introspection, so truth of yourself, and harmonizing energies. I mean, it's fantastic for reducing stress and releasing negative thought patterns, calming anxiety and fear. I mean, a big chunk in your house is going to do you right. In fact, I have a huge chunk literally right here in my office. You just can't have enough apophyllite. I just love it. Azurite's also a good one because it'll bring clarity and new perspectives, new ways of looking at things as the energies start really kicking into high gear. And it's going to raise your consciousness by releasing blocks and releasing beliefs that are old and holding you back. And it's going to help you question reality and discern truth. If you want to work on shining your light and having the courage to do that, Herkimer diamonds. They help you see deep into yourself and to show your inner light to others, especially during times of stress and chaos. It is a very gentle transformation crystal, super powerful, very powerful. I also like selenite. I mean, selenite is just pure white light, and it'll rapidly shift your energy to release negative energies, stagnant energies. It'll help you with spiritual lessons, see the bigger picture in life, and just discern truth and have very deep understanding and deep balance, but it's also very peaceful, very peaceful. For your tapping into your authentic higher self, your soul connection, candle quartz, which is a specific formation of quartz. It's an important crystal during the energy shift because it's going to guide you to illuminate your soul purpose. And it's going to tap you into ancient knowledge that you have, but you may not know that you have it, so that you can start using it. Like everything that I've just been talking about, this is all ancient knowledge. So candle quartz really helps with that and highlights your soul purpose and enhances your intuition and heals your inner child so that you can align at a soul level. I also like labradorite. It's a very mystical stone, high vibrational yet grounding at the same time, that will bring you into higher consciousness and higher awareness, intuitive development. And you'll find that you're tapping into solutions and opportunities because you're transmuting and releasing negative energies and fear. So it really lights a fire in your soul mission. So it's a great crystal. And then last but not least, staying grounded, black tourmaline, deeply grounding, deeply protective. And when you're grounded and protective, you have confidence because you're not on that roller coaster like that Schumann resonance chart. You're calm, you're safe, and it brings harmony. And then euphorolite. Euphorolite raises your energy and it also grounds it. So it's a great grounding and calming crystal to have. Okay, so right now, what I want you all to do is close your eyes. Okay? Close your eyes. In your mind, I'm going to ask you some questions, and in your mind, I want you to answer either yes or no. Are you feeling stuck in your life? Maybe one area or all areas. Are you feeling stuck? Do you feel lost on your life path? Like you're questioning your purpose. Why am I here? What am I supposed to be doing? Are you not living your soul purpose or living to your highest potential? Have you been feeling ungrounded, unclear, uncertain, maybe fearful, maybe angry? Have you been feeling that lately? Have you been feeling physically unwell? Maybe some mysterious physical ailments that you can't solve? Feeling imbalanced, depleted, drained, exhausted, overwhelmed, angry, depressed, unmotivated, uncomfortable, just not you. Have you been feeling any of those? Have you been feeling the nudge to change, to grow, but you don't know where to start? Do you consider yourself an intention-driven person and you want to shift into your highest potential? Do you want to understand and come into alignment with the energy shift? How many of those did you say yes to? I'd love to see it in the chat. There were 8 questions. How many did you say yes to? Eight. You're not alone. You're not alone. Most of them, yeah. 3. Oh, wow, you're doing good. All right. So this is what everything that I just talked about and more is what we talk about in the sacred shift. We talk about seasonal energies. I give an energy forecast every month. We talk about planetary energies, Schumann resonance, working with universal laws, like the law of attraction, the law of vibration, the law of relativity, the law of cause and effect. We talk about universal laws. We talk about the importance of movement, exercise, and how it changes seasonally. We talk about food and nutrition that is healthy and changes seasonally. I even give healthy recipes every month. We go through the chakras. We go through essential oils and crystals for each monthly energy because each month is different. We get guided meditations, affirmations, and then there is a special lesson each month that you can see on the screen that is a sacred lesson. And there are workbooks that come with all of this. And everything is wrapped up into one course that literally pulls together every certification I have and everything that I have ever learned, and I pour it into the sacred shift so that you spend your time wisely with these energies, not adding to your busy schedule. I call it a buffet for your soul. Take what you want, come back for more. So we meet up twice monthly. We have seasonal ceremonies. So next week, we're going to have the summer solstice ceremony. There are a lot of free bonuses and discounted events. Everybody who comes in new gets an individual private coaching session to get you off on the right foot. There are recordings. You get monthly workbooks. You get a workbook because you're going to select a winged animal totem to guide you through your time in the sacred shift. You get over $500 in bonuses of classes that I charge for. the 12-part body system series, the 12-part year of well-being, even the visioning for the year. You get all that free, and discounts on other classes. Like the Sacred Shift got a big discount on the Oily Crystal Masterclass. And we have a private Facebook page so that we connect, we share, when there's something going on in between our twice monthly meetups, we go in there and we post about it. So, if you're ready, if you answered yes, you need to get yourself in this group. Okay. If you're ready to learn about this and flow with the energies rather than feeling out of control, this group is for you. If you're ready to feel better, do better, want better, this is for you. If you want to finish 2023 differently than past years, this is for you. It's a beautiful investment in living your best life, and everyone around you is going to benefit. Now, you can sample. So at the very bottom, bullet point, if you want to sample this, you can go to that link. And when I send the recording of this to everybody who registered, I'll put these links in there. You can sample the Sacred Shift if you want. You can join our summer solstice ceremony, which is next Tuesday. What day of the week is that? Or what day? It's June 20th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. We're doing our summer solstice ceremony. And then you can also join our July meetup, which is actually going to be a little early. It's going to be on June 29th at 6:30 p.m. because of the 4th of July weekend. I'm doing it a little early. And you can decide if you just want to hop in for the live classes or if you also want to get the workbooks. So you can sample if you want. But like I said, prices are going up September 1st. Okay. There's a seasonal membership where you can join for 3 months, or you can join an annual membership. This group has been going on since December of 2020. There is a 95% retention rate. People keep renewing every year because the energies are ramping up. The information changes. I do all the groundwork and I share it to make it easy so that you can go through the workbooks with all the information and do what you need to do. So thank you for sharing that. It's worth every penny. So typically the first of the month is the education meetup. It's 90 minutes long. It's the first Sunday of the month at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. I've had to shift it a couple times over the summer because of travel and holiday weekends. And then the second meetup is where we have conversations and questions. It's where you get to come in and ask and get coached, and we all work with each other. That is on the, hold on, I got to pull it up. That is on the third Wednesday of the month. Okay. But everything is recorded and everything is in a secured membership portal where you can unlock the modules and you have all these downloads and everything is there. So if you are in my Permis Day Essential Oil team, it's a 50% discount. Everybody else, just use the code 10 off. Okay, get the 10% discount, because once you lock in a rate, if you keep renewing, you just keep renewing at that rate. Even when I do a price increase, it has no impact on you at all. The annual membership has a 38% discount off the seasonal. Okay, I do my best to make it affordable. My coach is screaming at me to yank up the price. So we're in our third year, and I love seeing people continue because I see the changes in them and I know that they see the changes. And if the energies these past few years have really left you feeling confused and uncertain, depleted, unmotivated, lacking direction, you need this. You need this. You know, I would love to have you in this group. You know, we are a very tight-knit group. And, you know, if you're in any of my other groups, you know how I roll. So you can always message me if you have any questions. But if you just want to, if you want to drop in, go to that bottom link. And you can drop into the summer solstice ceremony and the July class. But I've given you a huge taste tonight of what we do in the sacred shift, but it's not even half of what we talk about. It's a lot of information to help you in every aspect of your life. Like I said, we have to detox body, mind, and spirit. And you get all this information to help you physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, in all aspects of your life. So last but not least, for those who are interested in upcoming classes, I have integrated energy therapy coming back. All these classes are last run for 2023. So IET, the last run is in September. That is in person. That's not online. I'm not able to do it online. But all my crystal classes coming back this fall. Never too early to get that on your calendar if you haven't taken those. And I know a lot of you already have and are, you know, certified and all that good stuff. So just put those on your calendar. So, all right, I am going to stop the recording. And for those of you here live, if you want to ask questions, you can, and it will not be recorded. So for those who are watching the recording, thank you for joining in.